There's something in APIs called throttling. Okay, I didn't know this at that time. And if you go over the number of requests per second for an API, you will throttle it. So for example, if you're using the Twilio API to send text to people, and you start sending like millions of texts per second, they're probably gonna throttle you, okay? Their limit might be you can only send 100 texts per second or 10 texts per second, otherwise you'll get throttled. So I was getting throttled, I had no idea why, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but just massively confused. And I remember, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I bet there is somebody on this planet that does. I started Googling my way around, I went to this platform called Ant, where people teach other people. So there are people who can teach you coding, there are people who can teach you swimming, whatever it may be. So I went on that platform, I found my first coding mentor. His name is Jean Bellois. It's a French name, okay? I still have him on my Facebook actually as a friend. And that was the guy that like pretty much changed my whole life and introduced me to programming. So at this point, I didn't know I had maxed out my spreadsheet, okay, with so many complex formulas, and I didn't know how else to improve it, but I knew that there had to be some way of improving it. And I just had a hunch that it might be called programming. Like a programmer might know what to do, but I didn't know for sure. And when I went to this guy, he whipped up the solution so fast. I was paying him, I think, $60 an hour. And I was a little bit worried. I'm like, how many hours is he gonna take? How's it gonna work? He whipped up the solution so fast. He turned into like a CSV file. He knew how to read data. He knew how to write data. He knew how to work with the API. He knew how all this shit worked together. And then ultimately, he outputted the data to a file. I remember he did that thing in like 10 minutes. And my mind was just blown. I'm like, here is a thing that could literally grow my business, that could literally double or triple my freaking business, and I didn't know how to do it. And this guy just did it in like 10 minutes. I would have to do insane amount of manual work. I had a crazy complex workflow. Like when I was young, when I was 18, I had this crazy shit with my chess business where on the Excel spreadsheet, I would have it so once I found out all the libraries and their phone numbers, I would give access to people, and I would say for every call somebody makes, it would give them $1 extra. So it had this automated setup where if you were working for me, every call you made, I sent you $1 for that call. And if you close the client, I would send you like $100 for that. And I had my friends working for me making these calls, and it had a way to log this information. It had a way to actually verify everything. And I was doing all of this in Excel spreadsheets. But I had maxed it out to the point where I couldn't do anything with it anymore, and then I thought, okay, I need to do something. That's when I went to the developer. The developer guy figured this shit out, made it seem like child's play, and that's when I thought, I'm like, you know what? There might be something to this coding thing. There might be something to this programming thing. And then I started going, and every complex shit that I had written in my Excel spreadsheet, I started coding it up. You know, I had really crazy things. Like I had this Zapier integration with my Excel spreadsheet that would log the amount of hours I had sex for, because I would go in this one location, this one shady parking lot with my ex-girlfriend, and it would automatically timestamp it. So it would use the Google API to know that we were in that location. It would log that in the Excel spreadsheet, and then when we left that place, it would hit the Google API, log the end time, and then I had a formula that calculated, you know, the time difference between the two, and then it would ultimately start keep track of that session. I still have that information to this day, and I should maybe send it to my ex. That would be really funny, but I won't. And so that was what it was helping me do, and I was using coding for everything. So when I tell you guys use coding for things that help you, that's one of the things that I used it for. Other practical things I used it for were this, okay? Let's say I had a client that paid me $35 an hour. Cool. So I thought, okay, this guy's paying me $35. Again, this was back when I was in high school. I just started college at 18, and I'm like, okay, this person is paying me, he pays me $35 an hour. I know multiple of my clients pay me $35 an hour, but I have to go and manually type all this shit in after I'm done. How can I automate this process? So I thought, okay, again, why don't I use the Google API and log it? So when I enter this person's home, it logs it that I enter. When I leave this person home, it logs when I exited. And if it was 2 hours long, it would say that I've generated 35 times 2, $70 for 2 hours. So it would do the math for me. It would use the maps for me and it would figure it out. So I was using it for my invoicing. I was using a lot of automation and programming, Excel spreadsheets for my life. But again, this was still Excel spreadsheets. Once I discovered programming, I'm like, I'm gonna be unstoppable. And it was like that. And then I immediately went back to all those Excel files, turned them into these Python programs. That blew my mind. Took my chess business to the next level because now I could actually do this shit on my own. That was exciting. And more than that, it showed me the possibilities are endless. Anything I can dream up in this crazy, wild brain God has given me, as long as I can think it, I can have it, I can make it, I can put it into existence. And that's really the thing that I find so very, very, very fascinating when it comes to coding, programming, and that's why I'm such a fan. And that's really one of the ways I actually got into this whole world of coding. That's how it started for me. That's what sparked that initial interest that got me into this. And then from there, I was off to the races. Once I discovered this thing, I took off because I loved it. I was passionate about it and I would do it for 10, 15 hours a day. That's pretty much my story for coding. Let me know what got you started. So let me know what got you excited. Let me know what got you interested in programming. Drop it in the comments below. I want to see what got everybody excited. If you like this video, let me know. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I love your beautiful face and I'll see you in the next video.
Going all day, man, going all day, man, going all day, man, going all day, man, I've been going way too damn long, going way too damn long.